Hi Leo, welcome to Spiritualista. This is your weekly energy forecast from the 6th until the 12th of October. This is a general reading, so it may or may not resonate with everybody. However, if you'd like a personalized deep dive reading, the link to my Etsy shop is below. And now, without further ado, let's see what the universe has in store for you guys this week. So a little pre-shuffle here. All right, Leo. So please tap into Leo, highest possible source, for the 6th until the 12th of October. All right, guys, let's see. Oh, that was almost a flip there, but not really. So let's keep going and let's see what comes out, Leo. Please tap into Leo's energy. And I'm sorry if my voice sounds a little bit funky today. I've been a little bit sick, a little bit with a cold, a little bit with allergies. So I'm still getting my voice back. And it's getting there, but it's a little bit raspy right now. I like it though. I prefer it to be raspy. I wish it was like this all the time. But if you're picking up on me sound a little bit different today, this is why. But I'm feeling fine though. I feel very good. It's just the voice that's the only thing left right now. All right, so let's see here. Okay, that's one that fell out. All right, so the Two of Wands here is you in your present moment. So a little bit of, you're anticipating something. You're waiting for something here. A little bit of like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? What's going on? Like, it's a little bit of not knowing for sure. We're gonna know more about what the situation is, what it means. So 6 of Cups is your crossing, so your challenge for this week. And then we have your crowning with the Tower. Interesting crowning. Did we see the Tower in the last Leo reading? Did we? I'm pretty sure that we did. However, I'm not sure if it was the last week or if it was for the monthly, but the Tower was definitely there in your energy. So it's still in your mind right now. And then in your subconscious mind, or like your foundation, as we call it, you have the 7 of Pentacles here. So there's a little bit of issues right now with you not knowing if something is worth it here. If it's worth the wait. Like, you're waiting for something definitely, but you're not really sure if it's going to turn out the way that you hoped. And if you should keep waiting for it, or if you should just let go. So like I said, we're going to get into that. We're going to get more information the more cards we get revealed here. The 3 of Pentacles is in your near past, your recent past. And in your near future, we have the Magician. Beautiful. We saw this with Aries as well. All right, so suggested approach is the Queen of Wands. And then we have your surrounding energies and what you need to know here with the Hermit. Interesting. I can't remember having the Hermit ever come out in a Leo reading before, but yeah, it's here today, so good. All right, and then we have your hopes and fears, and that is represented by the Ace of Wands. And in your potential future, okay, so the 5 of Wands. So a little bit of conflict energy, probably very connected to the Tower there. And then we have the 5 of Cups as the bottom. All right, so there's sadness there too. There's some sadness, there's a little bit of conflict there. There has been this thing here where something just fell apart for you guys. And now you're in this sort of contemplation mode. You're waiting to figure it out. So yeah, let's do so. Let's find out what this is. Okay, so I'm going to change the view to top down and we're going to get right into it. Okay, Leo, so 2 of Wands, crossed with 6 of Cups today. 2 of Wands, yeah, let's start there. It's you feeling like you're still looking out. You're looking out over the next chapter. You're not really sure when it's going to happen here. And it also tells me that you're feeling the weight of a choice here. Because like crossing with the 6 of Cups, that's to do with something from your past here. So it could be an old friend, like, but it's a memory. It's a memory of a connection. And it's tugging at you here. And you're in a period of just feeling lots of nostalgia over something here. And you're wanting to go back to when things were easier, like a more simple time, like maybe like life before 2020, right? But it's definitely to do with a connection. That's what I'm sensing here. It's not generally to do like, oh, I miss life before the internet here, but it's something to do with someone that has the energy from the past that you are reminiscing. Could be someone that has passed away and still no longer with you, and it's taking up a lot of your focus right now. And it is a challenge for you here. And the challenge is to not let that sadness and that sentimentality sort of anchor you when you're actually here. Like, you're waiting for this expansion to happen, but you're getting a little bit pulled into this sadness here, which is very much to do with you're not being in the present moment right now. You're being lost in the past. And I think it could be some sweet memories. It's probably a beautiful connection, but it's not here right now, which is making you not be here right now. And it's making you feel a little bit lost in life, generally. Yeah, not really sure of what to do and what's to come ahead of you here, because you're quite a bit distracted here. And then you have the Tower. So yeah, this week has the potential for a shakeup. You know, that's just the truth with the Tower. So it could be news, right, that comes in that are just gonna suddenly change things very drastically for you and just rattle this sort of structure here that you've built. But like I always say with the Tower, it's something that's necessary to clear space, right, for authenticity. So what's gonna crumble here is it's not meant to hold you forever. So I always talk to my friend about the Tower, and she's probably gonna watch this because she's a Leo cross watcher, so hi Kat. But we always talk about this card because she's a Scorpio, so it usually comes out in their readings. And how Tower in the beginning, not that bad, right? Could be something like more minor, but then it gradually throughout life, the more you don't learn from that lesson that it's trying to teach you about how you shouldn't be holding on to this thing, it's gonna gradually escalate more and more and more and more and more, right? So let's try an analogy here for the Tower. Say that a person has an issue with drinking, right? They have a drinking problem here. And then the first time it could be that they forget to lock their bike, right? And someone steals it. And that's the first Tower, right? So it's not that bad. You could get a new bike, right? And then the second time they got a new bike, and then they're drunk riding this bike, and then they get into a car accident, right? And yeah, that's worse, right? So it gets increasingly worse and worse and worse until you finally reach that point where you realize that, oh my goodness, I really need to heal this. I really need to go to AA. I really need to go to rehab. I really need to stop this behavior, whatever it is that is specifically toxic for you. Because otherwise, universe, it's not just a Tower, that's just the archetype, but universe has this tendency to like increasingly increase the strength of the microscope. So at first, you know, you're seeing the full picture, and then it gets closer and closer and closer and closer until you just have to look at it. You have to see it like for like the little atom level of that, so that you can understand that this is the problem that you need to clear out from your energy here. And if you're not learning through those lessons, the Tower keeps appearing until the lesson is finally revealed, and until you learn that this is something that is not going to be worth it here. So let me know in the comments, because it could be anything. I'm always rooting for you guys that it's not that bad, but let me know, because definitely there's going to be something there that is going to crumble here. But remember, like I said, that it's not going to be something that is aligned with you anymore. So just make sure to ground yourself in that knowledge whenever this happens. And let's talk about your foundation. So 7 of Pentacles here says that you're in a patient period here. So you're investing lots of time and effort here just so that you can wait for something to grow. And now with this card, you're at this part of this development where you're wondering if you should keep watering that plant, right? Or if you should plant someone else or somewhere else, right? If you should invest that time, allocate it towards a different direction, because you're not really sure at this point if this is something worthwhile here. And if it's worth rescuing, if it's worth like continuing striving towards. So that's what it says here. So could be this, could be very much connected to the Tower, especially if it's to do with a project or a job situation here. But of course, like it could be a relationship too. I don't like to say that because it feels like a lot of people don't want to hear that, especially if they're very much attached to their connection, and even though it's toxic. And I don't want to encourage that, you know, it should always be your own free will choice. But either way, like it could be that you've put a lot of time into this, a lot of effort into this situation or person, and you're beginning to realize maybe that the effort isn't worthwhile here. And this is what's causing this to sort of collapse. It's the universe's way to confirm that it's not, you know? But you're still in this, like at a soul level, you're still at the space of wondering whether it is or whether it's not. So that's a little bit of limbo here. And I feel it's connected to the Two of Wands too. You're just not really knowing for sure what's going on here and what the next step is going to be in regards to this here. Yeah, and then we have the Three of Pentacles, recent past. So that shows collaboration here, which is about like learning from other people and just building something with support. So now, like as you're here, like looking ahead, there is a sense that you're stepping into a territory where you're going to have to claim your own vision here. So it might have been in the past that you were a little bit dependent on others' opinions, that you had to always like double check with someone else if this is the right way to do it. And now you're stepping in this week into more of a space of independence here, which also leads up to the Magician too, which is about your power to create here and just shape things with your own intentions. So this transition here feels like very relevant. It feels like a moment where you start to plan something on your own here and you realize that you're not stuck, you know, and you have the power here to just turn this situation and shift it into something more exciting and more beneficial to you, that is more aligned with you here. And suggested approach, the Queen of Wands. So that's just telling you to own your charisma so that you can act through life with lots of confidence here. And you are a Leo, so I feel this is a very pleasant card to see here. So just be in your leadership, but do that from like warmth, right? And presence, rather than just from fear-based thinking or being defensive. So yeah, it's going to be a good energy for you guys. And it's like part of your glow up here with this, where you're going to be shining without having to apologize for it. So it feels very natural to you to just be in this fire energy here. And that's your advice from the universe, to stay in that this week. Surrounding energy is the Hermit. So there is a very quiet, introspective vibe around you here, where you're likely feeling that other people around you are a little bit withdrawn and they're going to be focused on their own like soul searching here. So just make sure to not mistake their distance for them not being into you or interested in you, because everyone's sort of processing their own powers right now. It's coming up a lot. So it's not you, it's them, right? It's that energy here. And I feel from like a universal lesson here that this is actually very much necessary due to this here. Because since you have been likely very dependent on others and very much, oh, I need to call this person, I need to check in here, I need to see what they think before I take the step, before I give the final word, I need to have it from someone else. This is your way to learn that, because when you notice that maybe they're not picking up that phone, it's on do not disturb, then you're going to be a little bit forced to ask yourself first, right? And to make that own decision here. Oh, they're going to start mowing the lawn. I have to speed things up here, so it's going to be noisy. All right. So we have the Ace of Wands here. So that's the hopes and fears. So you're craving lots of fresh passion here and just this yes from the universe. But there's also like this nervous edge here that it's going to burn out, right? That spark. And especially here with the Queen of Wands, it's going to just not be something that sustains itself for a long time. But you don't have to be concerned about that. Just follow that. You know, that's your soul spark there trying to pull you in a specific direction. So don't be scared that it's going to be something temporary. You don't know that. You can't guarantee that. So just have fun with it, you know? And Five of Wands, potential futures. So that's some friction and competition as you're stepping into some new territory here. And it's a hostile card, but it doesn't have to be, right? And sometimes it's something that's just necessary to sharpen your skills so that it can prove to you how much you actually want something here. And bottom of the deck, so Five of Cups, so underneath everything, there is a sense of grief here. And it's a grief for this thing here, like this energy here that has been lost from the past. And it's telling you to not live there, you know? Because this card, like the Two of Wands, is literally showing that there's more here beyond the horizon. So just don't get too stuck in that sadness here. But definitely it's to do with this nostalgia energy. So to tie it all together, like, this is not a punishment, first of all. It's going to be a release. And you're in this sort of sweet, like, reminiscent mode here. But your future is calling louder and telling you to not be too much distracted with that. So just step forward with confidence, even as there might be some competitions and doubts arousing. Oh my goodness, wrong word, arising for you. So yeah, just that's the thing, right? This might happen here with the 501. So this week, like, yeah, it's about trusting your vision, right? Rather than controlling every single outcome here. Because it's going to be a little bit of a mat getting pulled from underneath you here, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So just make sure to trust yourself and cultivate more of that independency and willingness to make your own decisions here. And that's the advice for you guys. And that's all I have for you today, Leo. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this reading resonated. And if so, please make sure to give it a like and let me know in the comments below which part resonated the most with you. And don't forget to subscribe for your weekly energy forecast. Okay, bye!